In 1994, a man was digging in Turkey. He hit something hard. He brushed away the dirt and found a stone pillar. Then another. Then another. By the end, he had found something that broke every history book ever written. And he spent the rest of his life trying to explain it. He never fully could. Think about your daily routine. You wake up. You eat food someone else grew. You live in a building someone else designed. Everything around you exists because of systems built over thousands of years. Now take all of that away. No food supply, no system, no rules, no leaders, just you and the wild. Could you organize thousands of people to build something massive? Could you feed them all for years with no farms? Could you carve perfect, detailed art into 20-ton stones with nothing but a sharp rock? These people did all three at the same time, 12,000 years ago, and we are still trying to figure out how. The site is called Gobekli Tepe. It means potbelly hill in Turkish. For thousands of years, locals thought it was just a normal hill. Then Klaus Schmidt started digging, and the hill started giving back something nobody expected: stone pillars. Massive, T-shaped pillars arranged in perfect circles, each one weighing between 10 and 20 tons, some standing 18 feet tall, and every single one covered in carvings: foxes, snakes, lions, vultures, scorpions. Not rough scratches, but detailed, precise, skilled art. The kind of art that takes years to learn. Schmidt dated the site, and it came back 12,000 years old, 7,000 years older than the pyramids. He sat back and said, "This changes everything we know about human history." He was right. But even he did not know how right he was yet. Here is what you were taught in school. Humans learned to farm first. Then they settled down. Then they built structures. That was the order, and everyone agreed on it. Gobekli Tepe broke that completely. Because when researchers tested the soil around the site, there was no farming, no seeds, no irrigation channels, no animal pens. These builders were hunter-gatherers, people who spent every day moving around looking for food. They had no permanent home, and yet somehow they organized enough people to move 20-ton stones across miles of rough terrain. They fed thousands of workers for years with no farms. They kept a massive construction project running across generations. Think about what that means. These people were not primitive. They were not randomly wandering and surviving. They were organized. They had leaders. They had plans. They had something worth building for. And here is what researchers now believe. It was not farming that created civilization. It was places like this that created farming. People gathered here and then started growing food because they needed to stay. Everything you learned about how civilization started is backwards. Gobekli Tepe proved it. Now, I need you to stop for a second, because what I am about to tell you, I want you to really think about. The people who built Gobekli Tepe buried it on purpose. All of it. They spent years, possibly generations, building these massive stone circles, carving every detail by hand, moving stones heavier than anything they had any right to move. And then one day, they filled it all in. Thousands of tons of rubble poured deliberately over everything they built. And then they left and never came back. We do not know why. No other ancient site on Earth was intentionally buried by the people who built it. Not the pyramids, not Stonehenge, not any temple or monument ever found. Only this one. Which means these people made a decision. They looked at the greatest thing their entire civilization had ever created and chose to hide it from the world forever. Why would you do that? What were they protecting it from? Or what were they hiding? Nobody knows. And here is the part that should stay with you. We have only dug up 5% of the total site. 95% is still underground. Whatever is down there, we have not seen it yet. But here is what makes this even harder to explain. Look at the carvings. The animals on those pillars are not random. Researchers noticed that the same animals keep appearing in the same positions across different pillars built centuries apart. That means whoever was building here over hundreds of years was following a system, a code. Some researchers believe the carvings are a star map, that the animals represent constellations, and the arrangement of the pillars tracks specific movements in the night sky. If that is true, these people were doing astronomy 12,000 years ago, before any civilization we know of had even started. Other researchers say it was purely religious, a temple for rituals and sacrifice. And others say it was a meeting place where different tribes gathered to share knowledge. Here is the honest truth. We do not know which is correct. Klaus Schmidt spent 20 years digging here before he died in 2014. And he said the more they found, the more questions appeared. Every answer led to 10 new mysteries. That is what Gobekli Tepe does. It does not close the story of ancient humans. It opens a door we did not even know was there. 12,000 years ago, a person stood here with the same brain as you, the same fears as you, the same need to build something that mattered. They had none of your tools, none of your technology, none of your knowledge. And they built something that outlasted every empire, every king, and every war. Something so important, they buried it, not to destroy it, but to protect it forever. It worked. It survived 12,000 years underground, waiting. And we have only just started finding it. 95% still in the ground, waiting for us to dig it up. And when we do, everything we think we know about ancient humans might change again. If you think that is strange, wait until you hear what ancient humans did when they could not sleep. The answer is not what you expect. Ancient humans did not sleep the way you do. And when scientists studied the last remaining tribes who still live the way our ancestors did, they found something that will change how you think about every night of your life. Watch this next